Hey everybody, welcome to Show Some Hus. I am here with my good buddy Leo. Leo, how are you doing after a gloomy night and morning?
Oh man, it was gloom and doom last night, and I think this morning for me, Donnie, it's just frustration. That's it was ugly. It was ugly. And it was ugly from the start, and then we tried to make a run, and then it just was more ugly after that. So we'll dig into it, but I'm feeling annoyed and frustrated, not panicked, but
hmm
just like, come on, fellas, we got to put a game together.
Yeah, I think I'm noticing a trend with myself, and tell me if you feel the same. Um, going back to last year, we experienced what, four losses total in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This year we've only experienced one so far. So I guess my mental fortitude is not equipped for it like I needed last night for it to be because I was saying some things in my head that I needed some time to breathe.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, same here. And I think we'll be okay. We lost by 7. We to a good team. I don't foresee Ant having another 40 plus, or I think we'll fix that. But man, we've got to make some changes, and some things have to get better for us to be successful.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, you go back to that LA series and it was like we were imposing our will and it was about, Darvin Ham talking about adjustments, and people kind of ridiculed him for that, but clearly he had to make adjustments. But now we're in that situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I kind of made a list here. So today we're going to go over. I made a list of negative things from last night,
Hmm.
a list of positive things last night, and then I want to talk to you about matchups.
Okay.
And that kind of dives into the whole adjustments thing. But I'm going to start with the negatives. Let's just get these out of the way.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to run through these, and then I want your take on these.
Okay.
First one, I don't know if it's a negative. It kind of is. I mean, it's a negative because he's not on our team. Anthony Edwards is really, really good. Um,
Hmm.
I'm talking
Hmm.
like future MVP, face of the NBA, first ballot Hall of Famer type good.
Hmm.
Um, and that's something, you got to deal with, right? Like just because you're good doesn't mean you're going to win the series, right? And we also have people who are good, including Nikola Jokic. But I'll continue. Sorry. Jamal's overall game. Um, and I'm not just talking about offensively. He got beat to the bucket, and I could count at least two in my head, too many times by Mike Conley for a very easy layup.
And it wasn't just Mike Conley that he got burned by. He got picked on all night.
Yeah. Um, so we definitely need to talk about that. And then we've every time we go to the rim, I feel like we're really tentative.
Hmm.
And I mean, I get it. Gobert, big dude. Towns, big dude. Naz Reid, big dude. Even McDaniels has some size to him, and Anthony Edwards can jump out of the gym. The guy is, not just as effective on offense; he's very effective on defense.
Hmm.
However, I feel like the way we're also taking it to the whole is it's kind of like the mental or the presence of them that Wemby brings, right? And we're going up super weak. I noticed it at least two or three times with CB. There was one MPJ tried to do like a reverse layup, and I'm like, dude, no, like that's not how it's gonna work. Jamal, I feel like he's leaning back more. He's worried about getting blocked. He's so concerned about things. And don't get me wrong, I want to give the Timberwolves credit for that, like the physical part of it. However, I feel like we're letting them mentally beat us in that as well, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and then sorry, I got three more, and then
No,
I'll
man.
or I got four more. Sorry, this list was long. 12
All right.
turnovers, 12,
Yeah.
and they're all from our starters,
Hmm. Seven
including
of them,
seven. Hmm.
came from Nikola, but if I mean, from what I saw, he earned 4 of them, and 3 of them were not exactly his fault. But he recorded them, so he's got a. We can't have 7 turnovers. That's bad.
Yeah. Um, and I guess I should have probably started with this one, but the slow start, we were down 16-4. I mean, where is the urgency? Like, where is that
Mhm.
intensity from the beginning? And I want to give us some credit that we fought back and got into the game, but yeah, and I'll wait. I'll wait for us to get to that. Um, Rebounding. We got out rebounded 34-42. Um, we only had 3 offensive boards to their 7. Starters combined for only 20 total of the 34 rebounds, which is only 58% of our total rebounds.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's highly concerning when our primary 3 bigs are starters in Yoke, MPJ, and AG. And AG basically doubles as our backup Yoke.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
highly concerning. Um, and then the last one is just kind of AG. Like I, honestly, I didn't think he played bad. I thought he played pretty well. I don't think because of his inability to be such a threat from the perimeter, um, we, I don't want to necessarily take away from opportunities from MPJ and Yoke and other guys, but I feel like we didn't really put him in situations where he can thrive. And granted, their too big type of lineup takes away our bully ball.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know. And yeah. So let's just kind of go down the line here. Let's talk to me about Anthony Edwards and then talk to me about Jamal.
Well, um, that Anthony Edwards is on a tear right now. He really is. Um, we have got to find a way either for KCP to stay on him, or we need to change our defense entirely to guard him, because it wasn't like he was, man, just hitting shot after shot in our face. He was getting some good looks. He hit a few in our face.
Hmm.
But that has to end. Um, we are, what are we, 6 games now waiting for Jamal and his jump shot to show up. I know, man, he's hit 2 game winners, but he's also the reason we were in that position in the first place.
Hmm.
And I'm not giving up on Jamal. I won't at all. But when you score 17 points, which is very bad for playing 34 minutes, for what we need from him,
Hmm.
but you give up what? You give up 50 defensively? Like, did he? I mean, probably 50.
Close to it.
Uh, 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 you know, um, so that's bad. I just, we just get picked on with him. So Jamal's he's a tough guy. He's a tough kid. He's gonna come out and play physical game 2, I think. I don't think his injury is hindering him at all. I think he's just not playing his usual self. So the Jamal thing has to get figured out, because he didn't. If you look at it, he didn't shoot that bad. 6 for 14, 2 for 4 from trip. But when you give up twice as much as you score, you're Earl Boykins.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Fun to
I
fun to watch, but we got to make an adjustment.
yeah, totally agree. Like I think a lot of people want to blame the injury. Um, is it ideal? No. If he couldn't be at least at say 90 plus percent, which is still should be really good. Jamal's a great player. Then he
Hmm.
wouldn't be out there, right? Like
Hmm.
we would rather have 100% uh one of our bench guys on there over below 90% Jamal probably, right?
Yeah.
Especially on the defensive end. Um, okay. So talk to me about why are we so tentative? Do you think it's mental?
I
If there
think it's I think we are getting a little championship hangover in the playoffs, which is, we're just like, yeah, well, we know it, we're gonna step on the gas eventually and we'll be fine. We'll catch back up. But the Timberwolves are not a team where you can start down and then catch back up, because they will. It's not like if, it's when they go on another run, you won't be able to stay with him. And we weren't.
Hmm.
We got done what 15 to start the game or something like that, and we matched it. We did, but then now we're tired, and they're just hitting their second wind. So I don't know, man. The slow starts has to stop, and you can blame anyone individually, but it's all of them.
Yeah.
Nikola's got to quit passing it to the other team. Jamal's got to start um, sticking shots early. And, I give MPJ a lot of flack, but we need him to shoot the ball more.
Hmm.
And I don't think that's his fault. I think he shoots when he's open, but um, would love for MPJ to get some more shots with as solid as he's been offensively.
Yeah, and that comes down to, coaching and the team collectively, right? Running plays, running sets for him. I mean, and I've got a list of positives here, and that's one of the positives is MTJ is remaining to stay. I wouldn't say hot, like he's not looking like Steph Curry out there, but he's looking like we expect MPJ to look, right?
Mhm.
He's hitting those open shots. Shot well from three last night. I think he shot 48% from the field in general. So I don't know, but I
I'm
want,
very happy with his production.
yeah, yeah. I want to go back to one more negative.
Mhm.
Rebounding. How are we going to fix this?
We rely on one person to do it. And because I love, you look at our Aaron Gordon, 3 boards.
Hmm.
What?
I
What?
know.
Where are you, dude? Where are you? Um, and then Nikola, only 8. I know that 8 is decent, but not for a guy who's averaging what, 12 boards. So um MPJ, he had 6, and I feel like a lot of MPJ's rebounds are like tip rebounds, like they could have gone to him, Nikola, or Aaron. But also we just that urgency around the rim needs to be there. But also, man, did we have a lot of shots to rebound? Because I don't know if Anthony Edwards missed a whole lot.
They did shoot well. They shot above
Jeez.
50%. They not only made more field goals than us, they shot more field goals than us. So
And we only lost by 7.
exactly, exactly.
Um,
Um, it,
I have a
it,
negative to throw out at you when you have a chance.
oh yeah, do it. Let's jump into it.
This is so bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. They had one bench player outscore our entire bench.
I mean, Nas Reed,
Had
um,
more points than our 4 bench guys.
yeah, I
What is that, dude?
he had 10 points in the fourth quarter. Um, and then they took him out and put Towns back in. And I was
Dude, just
kind of
to just to slap it in our face.
right. I was like, Finch, just let him ride.
Right.
Like, uh,
Uh also Nas Reed, a bench player, outscored 2 of our starters combined.
yep, yep.
Dude, that like I know that scoring is not it or all the time, but we got like we can't rely on 1.5 dudes
Hmm.
to be our scorers. We've got to have more production. But at the same time, Nikola's shooting 11 for 25,
Hmm.
unacceptable.
Hmm.
He's shoot for someone who shoots close to 60%. That's just, but also, here I am getting all worked up. It's one game.
Yeah.
Um, we are the former champions. Um,
I'm,
I
I'm
I'm frustrated, but I don't know,
yeah,
not
annoyed,
concerned.
annoyed. Um, I'm going to use your positivity into my segue to positives here. All right. Uh, so we talk about those 12 turnovers. We also got 12 steals.
Yeah,
I mean, and they
yeah,
led a lot of them led to, or a good amount, at least half led to transition opportunities.
yeah.
I mean, active hands, that was good. I like that. That's kind of what got us back into the game because, dude, early on, I'm thinking we're going to be down 20 at the end of this quarter.
We
I
almost were.
Yeah, we had 4 points in the first 6 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
We looked like the Clippers and Mavs there for a while.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. I'm over here just, I'm just excited we're getting to watch some good basketball. And then we put up 4 points and 6. It was gross. And we're shooting what, like 6 fadeaways to start the game.
Yeah.
I,
I
I don't
and
know, man.
And that's I've got one of these on this list. I I really liked, and we did, and like you said early on, a lot of fadeaways, a lot of just kind of contested shots, a lot of Kobe moments, in my opinion.
without the
And
Kobe.
without the Kobe, the Black Mamba was not showing up in these gentlemen to start early. Um, however, we've got finally Jokic between the two hashes catching and going to work.
Yes.
And I think we learned early they're not going to double. Gobert might roam, but they're not going to full on blitz and double like a traditional type of just get it out of his hands.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I thought that actually was good for us. I think Yoke, I think Gobert does a pretty decent job on Yoke. However, Yoke will still get his. And I think
Yep.
if we go to a heavy diet of that, they may be forced into going into a straight type of blitz type double. That will open
Hmm.
up shooters a lot more. That'll open up those cuts. That'll open up guys like AG,
Hmm.
for those lob lays, lob dunks, that type of thing. Um, and
And it's an opportunity for foul trouble too, which I'm super excited about, and I don't feel like we capitalize on that like we should.
yeah, I mean it was funny because that was why Towns was out late in the first place, right? You had 5 fouls, and
Right?
I mean they just happened to have the sixth man of the year come in. I mean, and granted, we know what that's like. I know
Yeah.
I don't think Bruce Brown won it last year, but he was should have been the sixth man of the year.
He
Like,
was the man.
yeah. So we know what it's
Hmm.
like to be able to bring a basically another starter off the bench. Um,
A scoring starter.
yeah. Yeah. And getting back into it, dude, I liked the defensive intensity. I mean, that kind of goes with those 12 steals. I felt like we were working better defensively collectively through the second quarter. And a little bit into the third. Into the third, I felt like we kind of lost our way. Um, but
We can't guard the 3-point line to save our lives.
yeah,
We
I know.
just our wing defense is terrible.
Yeah. And then, when we do close out, we get beat. And that
Hmm.
that creates a
Hmm.
rotation of chaos with our guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I, I don't know. But yeah, another positive, like I mentioned earlier, MPJ, 4 of 7 from three,
Hmm.
46 from the field, 20 points. Um, Last night, I I I felt comfortable when he had the ball,
Hmm.
you know? I
Yeah. Hmm.
and I hope this continues. I hope it does. And I hope that maybe we start looking into getting him a bit more looks off of sets and stuff like that. Get some more action for him. Um,
We, yeah. I mean, he's the one that's hitting right now. With like we said, we don't give up on Jamal, obviously.
yeah.
And I think we try to get AG more looks at the rack. Um, but you know me, Donnie, I'm all offense, but we have to do something with um on defense. We've got to change something.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
I just if I Ant will have 40 every game if we play this one-on-one stuff and do not play help defense.
mhm.
Because we can't play man defense. We can't play zone. If we play zone on them, they'll just drop threes on us all day. So it's tough, man. And also I'm over here saying we got to fix this. We got to fix this. Well, we lost by 7,
Mhm.
and we didn't play well. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, the steals and MPJ are my two shining
Yeah.
moments.
And this one, my last one, is a little bit more controversial.
Let's hear
Controversial.
it.
Controversial.
Zhersh,
Um,
Zhersh.
I actually didn't think the bench was that bad.
And if you look at field goal percentage,
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
the big
But
one
they
was
play.
rebounding for me. They had oh, I don't know what that percentage, but
They did have a lot of boards, dude.
yeah.
They did.
And
Hmm.
and maybe that's actually normal, and it's just when you look at that compared to what the starters had, you're like, "Oh, that's a lot." I think it's
Hmm.
maybe more the fact that no, that's what they should get. It's just the starters need to have significantly more. Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
so I thought CB, aside from his, I dude, go up stronger and
Hmm.
stop worrying about getting blocked. if you're that tentative, don't even go.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
like
I
that
agree.
it's a wasted possession. I mean,
Yeah.
stop. However, I actually thought he had some really good moments. I thought he had some good defensive possessions on Ant. Um, Justin Holiday hit a big three. Justin Holiday had a steal that I thought was big. Reggie Jackson started really well.
Hmm.
I don't think he drifted. You're right.
Yeah.
And he got picked on by Ant late.
Yeah.
They switched on him and it was kind of hard to watch. Peyton Watson, Peyton Watson, no points. Airball three.
It looked like a pass. It was so bad.
Yeah. Uh, only played 6 minutes. I want to ask you, why is that?
Well, when you airball, um, I think that plays part. No, and also, if he plays, he guards Cat, right?
And that's the thing. Like,
Because he's too slow for Ant. But Cat, I don't know, man. I was surprised. We went.
and
I
maybe that's
really, I really thought we'd see some DJ minutes.
I did too.
And maybe I'm a fool for bringing that up, but I just I don't. But what I mean, I'm over here like let's play DJ, but also we need to fix the perimeter. It's not our bigs that's the issue. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I am. But I think someone needs to work with Jamal and Reggie
Yeah.
and even CB. I mean, CB did play well defensively, but I would like him to be our stopper, our stopper.
Hmm.
Um,
It,
because KCP is father time is hitting him.
yeah. I mean, KCP, I feel like if he wasn't having to run off screens and all that, I feel like he'd do all right against a Anthony Edwards. But
He's
Anthony,
battling a tweaked ankle.
yeah. I mean, he just needs a little bit. We're gonna have to figure out the Anthony Edwards situation because, like you said, if this
Yeah,
guy scores 40 a night,
we're done.
we're done. I mean, I just don't see us being able to figure out another way. And I mean, again, if you throw in a Jamal, if we could somehow get Jamal back to what we expect him to be, you throw in, let's say 25 points. That's what,
Hmm.
eight more points, we win the game.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so there are things there are. It, I know I've said this a lot come or basically this entire playoff. If we had played super well, I'd be really concerned. We did play. That was probably what's funny is we played better that over the course of the 48 minutes than we did in any of the Laker games,
We had to, yeah.
you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
So I mean, you could say that's a positive. That's also mildly concerning, seeing as we lost the game. However, I think it's just this is playoff time. You got to put 48 minutes together, and we didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
we basically skipped the first 6 minutes and we kind of panicked in the last six. You know, we went up against a team that was executing as well as we used to execute against the Lakers, and then we didn't, you know? I mean, 6 minutes left. I think it was 84-84. CB hits a three to tie it up, and then Naz Reid goes on like a 10-0 run by himself.
Jeez, yeah,
I mean, what
yeah.
in a lot of our shots we were taking, I'm just like in those big moments, we don't have like there's still time. You don't have to match their threes.
Mm-mm.
If we get open threes with good shooters like MPJ, Jamal, take them. But I just feel like we need to go to a steady diet of Yoke facilitating either catching at the high post or between those two hashes and going to work. We have to trust what has gotten us this far, what got us a championship last year, and go from there. I mean, if we lose doing what we know is our best strength, so be it.
Hmm.
Uh, but don't panic. And I felt like we panicked a little bit. I mean, I know I panicked. I
Yeah,
freaked out. I was like, I mean, at
we're
one
gonna get swept.
I literally said that to myself last night. I was like,
We're gonna lose every game.
trade them all. We're getting swept. Burn it down, you know? And I'm just sitting there being completely irrational when it's like one game, 7 point game. They played out of their minds, you know?
Yeah, there
I,
were a couple times when I was like, Nikola, are you trying to pass it to them? Are you doing this on purpose? What's going on here, dude?
yeah,
Um,
and there's some times I wonder with his turnovers because a lot of them throughout the season are because his brain is so far ahead of everybody else's,
mhm,
and that includes the guy that he's passing to.
mhm, mhm.
um, and it, I'm almost asking him like, hey, you know, I know that you see this, and I know that you see this opportunity, but make sure the guy that you're passing it to also sees that opportunity.
It's
uh,
like when you're a freshman in high school and the coach is telling the juniors and seniors to, bring it down a little bit, bring it down a little bit.
yeah.
Um, but I think so. But also, I think Nikola sometimes, people say he doesn't care. I think he loves this game so much that he just wants to have fun.
Mhm.
And so floopty whoopty passes are, just part of his game. And we either live with it
That's
and let him
true.
make them.
That's true.
Because usually he's a dart with them, usually he's a dart. But we have seen probably 4 or 5 games this year of 7+ turnovers. Um, so I think we're bound for the next 4 or 5 to be solid.
That's true. That's very true. And
We,
you're right.
we it has to be. We
You're
don't have a
right.
choice.
You're right. And like I think what you said kind of makes me sound a little bit like a hypocrite when I said go away from things that got us to this point. Those loopty doopty passes are kind of what got us here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're crazy, and I, yeah, I think what I am is just like I'm trying to find things, adjustments, things we can find to
Mhm.
to tine food, excuse me, fine tune 8 more points.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They shot 52% and scored 106 points. We're okay.
Yeah,
We're okay.
yeah. Okay, I want to talk to you quickly about matchups.
Okay.
So first possession of the game, um, they put Mike Conley on KCP. They
Hmm.
put McDaniels on MPJ, Edwards on Murray, AG or Gobert on AG, and Carl Anthony Towns on Joker.
Hmm.
Um, am I crazy in thinking I thought they were going to put McDaniels on Murray?
No, here's the thing, man. I don't think so. I think we all thought McDaniels was going to because that's his job on that team.
Hmm.
But at the same time, all 5 of those guys, and I don't know much, maybe not Ant, but or maybe not a Cat, but those guys are elite defenders, all
Hmm.
of them.
Hmm.
So I don't think it really matters. I think they just kind of go out and point and match up like you do in a rec game.
Yeah,
Like yeah, I'm joking, obviously. They don't do that, but they could.
yeah. I mean, they don't really
Um,
have a defensive weakness,
and I wonder if it was because did that continue? I
and
thought that
and that
we
and
saw a few
that's
possessions
and
of it
that's
switched.
and that's what I wanted to ask. So like that was their first intention,
Yeah,
but I did feel like it kind of rotated throughout the game, right? Like I
that
noticed
was a smart strategy.
it was. I mean, it really
Joker never got comfortable. He we didn't, dude, we just don't commit. When we don't commit to our screens, Donnie, gosh, man, sometimes I'm like, why do we even what a fake slip screen is very useful in the right motion, but sometimes we do it, I think, just to say, hey, coach, I did it. And it's frustrating.
well,
You
and
got to be intentional with the things that you do when it comes to screening.
yeah, and a fake slip screen, if you do it every single time, it's not really
It's not a fake.
exactly. It's supposed to be spontaneous, surprising. It's supposed to surprise the defense. So you have to almost sell them on I'm going to set a good screen.
Hmm.
And by
Hmm.
doing that is by continually setting good screens.
What a
So,
concept. What a concept.
right?
You know what
Right?
else it does? It creates mismatches.
Thank you. And that's what they did to us.
I know. Ask
So,
Jamal, ask Reggie.
yes. I mean, I defensively when it comes to Yoke, I'm not concerned. I thought he did well against Gobert. If you don't want to double him, there's maybe one guy, two guys, maybe in the NBA that I get concerned about when it comes to Yoke just one on one. And it's Wemby and maybe Chet, and that's only because of length. But eventually Joker figures them out.
Hmm.
He is a walking, talking algorithm. The guy figures it
Hmm.
out. Um, so yeah, and then defensively, I want to get your take on what we should do. So we started the game with AG on Towns, Murray on Conley, KCP on Edwards, MPJ on McDaniels, and Joker on Gobert. There were no surprises there for me. Were there any surprises there for you?
No, man, and I don't necessarily think we make too big of changes.
Mm-mm.
Because I'm over here and I said we got to make changes, but also we gave up 106 points. They shot 52%. If anything changes, it's maybe to a matchup zone with an emphasis on um Ant. But also if you do that, then you leave Cat wide open. Cat didn't have a great game. Um, so I think they're a team where it's like us, it's a pick your poison type of situation. And we unfortunately just weren't the lethal poison last night. They were.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
um that being said, uh we have to win on Monday. It's not an option.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, I mean, we're looking at a ridiculous type of. I mean, right now, I feel like we have to just climb Pikes Peak.
Mhm.
But if we lose Monday, we're talking about climbing Mount Everest. Um,
Yeah, without oxygen.
exactly. So, I'm not trying to put pressure. They feel the pressure. They know the pressure. They felt it last night. Both teams
Mhm.
are. This is how championship teams win championships. You go through big pressure moments, and this is a big one. It's the first time I didn't even realize it until I heard it last night on the radio. I think driving home. It's the first time we've been behind in a series since before we won the title.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, it's an unfamiliar situation for this team, this core five, um, and I'm excited to see how we respond. I mean, I still think Anthony Edwards was phenomenal, and he's making me think that he should be in the MVP conversation at this point. But
He said, yeah.
I still think we have the MVP. I do.
Oh, and without a doubt. And also we've lost two of our last three games, if my math is right.
You're correct.
When's the last time we did that?
Yeah.
So I don't foresee us continuing to lose. We are playing the second best team in the league. Emphasis on second.
Hmm.
So we'll be all right. We'll bounce back.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any like last thoughts, any last words, points you want to make on this one?
Be intense, be intentional, show some hus, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hustle it out.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't know why I said that, but anyway,
Let's hustle it out,
let's
you big
hustle it out.
hussies. You big hussies. Let's go.
All right,
Hey,
buddy.
shout out to Coach K. It was her birthday this past week, and had a good chance to celebrate with her. So if you see Coach K, tell her what's up.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Coach K. She's going to game two, I think. Right?
Yes, yes, I
Right?
will see her there. I will see her there.
Right on.
Yeah. So
Fun, man.
we're
Uh,
excited, man.
quickly, did you guys overall, aside from the game, was the trip down to ball fun?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's always great. It was amazing.
Good.
Great folks. The people there, the fans, the staff, great people. They need to drop prices for drinks and food about 50%, but it is what it is. It's all a business, and am I gonna pay $1 million for a slice of pizza? Eh, well, I did, so it is what it is. So,
I feel you there.
ah,
I feel you there.
man,
Um, all right, buddy. Let's get out of here. Everyone will be back for game two recap,
Mm,
either Monday night or Tuesday. I think it's another 8 o'clock game, unfortunately.
yeah.
But yeah, so probably Tuesday. Let's just be honest. Uh, remind the people for us, my friend.
Everyone, please do not forget to show some hus. Go Nuggets.